Hi guys, today's video is really different and I'm really excited to show you guys what we've got planned for today. Now we are going to take a really cool car all the way from the south of Victoria, about an hour outside of Melbourne, all the way to Sydney. Now I am so excited. You guys are going to love this car. We are currently in my Ford Falcon, so nothing too interesting right now, but we're going to drop it off, pick the car up and take it there. And man, I am excited. I'm really excited. We are going to stop in Albury. You know, I probably could do the whole drive in one crack, but I've already been driving 2-3 hours or whatever. So we're not going to be doing that right now. There's no reason to push it because this car is so cool and I want to enjoy my time with it. So I'll just, quickly show you, if you're not familiar. This is the car, my car that we're taking, the humble Ford Falcon. Man, it needs a buff if you look at that. But anyway, this video, it's not about this car, that's for sure. It is not, but I'm really loving this car. It's getting really good fuel economy now for something so big and lazy. If we quickly have a look here, what have I got? We do have a reversing camera, which is pretty cool. 11.4 litres per 100k, which is pretty good for the old girl. And this is just my setup. I've just been using my maps here, and there's all my camera gear. But I know that's not why you clicked on this video. I'm really hoping that this is going to be, you guys are going to love it. Anyway, I'm not going to record me actually picking up the car because it's at somebody's house. No one wants someone to rock up to their house and immediately start filming. But oh man, I'm excited. I'm really excited. This is going to be a really different car review and I hope you guys like it.
Narcissistic, antisocial, psychopath.
And again, I'm sorry that I couldn't show you this, but I've just pulled over. I've just driven the car 10-15 minutes. This car is an absolute darling. It really is. It's so cool. Have a look at this old girl. So I'm just going to quickly run through some of the differences here. This steering wheel is absolutely perfect. Has all the grain. It doesn't twist. Our Lexcen horn pad, our dash, which is unique to the Lexcen, different than a lot of other cars. And sorry about my camera equipment there, but other than this, it's very nice. Like all original, fantastic condition. And the interior, I mean, look at that. Look at the interior there. It is absolutely perfect. It really is. And if I'll just quickly open the bonnet and then I'll give you guys a proper walk around. But oh, look at this old girl. Look at those hubcaps. Fantastic. The outside of this car is absolutely perfect. And again, this is the VP. They all have the Holden 6, the Buick 6. They have this little rubber strip here, which is awesome. Very tidy engine bay. But other than that, if we have a quick look on the front, quickly, the grille, unique to this car. The bars, unique to this car. The hubcaps, unique to this car. The molds, unique to this car. These are unique to this car. There is a lot of stuff unique to this car. The Toyota mud flaps in the same style, and this one is a CSI, so I believe you could get them CSI or GXL, and the GXL was the Calais, but this is like an executive. However, guys, and I'm going to go into it later when I'm driving it and talking about it, this is a very rare car now. It's not a big dollar car, it's not anything like that, but how often do you see one of these? Really? Never. Every now and then you might see a VRVS one, but seeing a VN one, seeing a VP one like this in this condition is astonishingly rare. I've never seen one in my entire life this good. It's perfect. Anyway, we're going to drive this about 700 kilometers or so to Sydney, and we're in southeast Victoria at the moment. And I'm pretty excited. I don't think anything's going to go wrong with this car. It's an absolute honey. It really is. It's got 150,000 Ks full service history. It was bought off an old bloke. It's just such a darling. So anyway, actually I will show you. There you go. Oh, sorry about that. But absolute dream. That's just the handbrake. But what a beautiful car, guys. I'm really excited to show the journey with you. Anyway, let's go. From this angle, you can see literally the only flaw of this car, which is the headlighting. But it's a very common thing for VN VPs to happen. So unfortunately going to have to look at that. But let's talk about what the Lexcen even is for a second. Now, it's a very interesting car because Holden and Toyota sort of had this partnership in the late 80s, and there were a few cars born from that partnership. There was the Holden Nova, which I think is the Corolla, and they were pretty much just Toyota Corollas with Holden badges. There's a few things like that, but the biggest one and the most interesting one for me, frankly, is these. Now, there were 4 tiers of Lexcen, so they're pretty simple to follow. So they're T1, T2, T3, and T4. T1 Lexcen is VN, T2 is VP, T3 is VR, T4 is VS. Now, VR, VS, there seem to be a few still floating around, but VN, VP, very rare. I mean, again, I'm not saying they're a big dollar car, but how often, think about it really, how often do you see a VN Lexcen VP? It's really rare now, because a lot of these cars, I hope it's not insulting, but it's the truth, a lot of these were owned by elderly, and since then they've been passed on. They've either been parted out. A lot of these had LSDs, the GXLs or the CSIs, the 2 versions you could get. The GXL was pretty much a Calais, and the CSI, which is what we're in today, is like the executive. But they got a lot of cool bits to them, you know, and because they were often owned by elderly, you know, they were pretty desirable because the running gears, the cars were usually very good, and they're pretty easy to convert back to a Holden car. So that's one of the reasons why I think there are so few left, and very few enthusiasts would have, back in the day at least, been into these cars, and they've really been bought now as time histories. Bit of a history, bit of a time warp, bit of a collector's piece. And again, the only thing wrong with this car at all, unfortunately you can see it, is the headlighting. Other than that, it is genuinely a perfect, like you can't get better than this. Original paint, panels, all of that stuff. Like, it's an absolute darling. All of its books and everything, it's a real great car. And I'm very, very fortunate and very privileged to be able to drive something as cool as this, as far as I can. And, you know, we still have, man, 700 Ks. I'm pretty confident in it though. We've just filled it up. It was like $90, and I did get some funny looks from the servo bloke because I don't have any number plates, but of course it is insured. It is don't you have an unregistered vehicle permit, all of that stuff, of course. But yeah, just I can't wipe the smile off my face. Now, I thought that you guys might enjoy this because it's a bit of a different review. And I would love to do more ones like this. And when this opportunity popped up, it was pretty much impossible to say no. But of course, things like this don't pop up very often. But if you're watching this video along and you would like a car picked up that you've bought and driven across the country, rather than chuck on the back of a truck and it gets covered in stone chips and stuff like that, feel free to get in touch. But just thought I'd do something a little bit different in a car that's really cool.
Irving, you're not answering that thing accurately. A little, maybe not outright.
You know, this is going to be one of the highlights of the Lexcen. This car drives tight as a drum, and because I mentioned before that a lot of these are typically owned by elderly, you know, that means that they get serviced on time and things get fixed, things get replaced when they need to. There is no vibration in this car. Like, it's just an absolute darling. It is really just as comfy as a modern car, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, we've been driving we've done about 160 Ks now, but I have driven 3 hours to get to this car, so I'm getting a little bit tired. I'm getting a little bit tired. Probably been driving about 5 hours now, but I've still got about 3.5 left today because we are staying in Albury, but there's no real rush. So I think what I'm going to do is soon we'll stop for a coffee or something like that. I'll try and go as long as I can, but again, there's no reason to push myself. There's no rush. as long as I get to Albury tonight, which I for sure will. And I'm not against having a little nap. You know, if that's what it takes, 15-20 minutes, and then you're feeling good again, why wouldn't you? You know, especially in this thing, so bloody comfortable. But yeah, we're sort of around Melbourne area, and I hope you guys like this. You know, I probably won't do a normal review. This is going to be the review, and I thought it would be something a little bit different. And if it's really comfy, the steering wheel. The only thing that I'm probably missing is cruise control. I kind of wish that this was the Calais, and I actually didn't know whether it was a CSI or a GXL before I picked it up. And so it is the CSI, so it's the base model, but that's okay. It's okay. Can't go there. Well, I do have a feeling that I may be getting pulled over. I haven't done anything wrong, but obviously this car has no number plates, but I do have a permit. I've got everything. And I definitely saw an undercover car. You know, you can always tell some of those new Hyundais with the sirens and stuff and the big antennas. Though, yeah, can't seem to see it, although I don't think there's not really a safe place for them to pull me over, so that might be why. But I'll probably record. Well, they didn't pull me over, so it looks like those days might be a little bit gone. I remember back when I had my first VM, you couldn't move without getting pulled over, and I never got in trouble, but I would have been pulled over probably 15 or 20 times. That's probably an exaggeration, probably like 10 to 15 in my early days. Never got a fine, never did anything wrong, but I always got pulled over left, right and centre. But I don't know, not in this car, I guess.
So I was just kind of going with
Sounds
everything.
scary if you got some sort of mediation.
You know, put in just some like random playlist.
I do have to be a little bit more organised because I have actually no plan of how I'm going to get home. I mean, obviously, I'll probably book a flight. I don't know how I'm going to pick up my Ford, which is 3 hours from my house, but I was organised enough to bring a speaker. Now, everything works in this car, but I want to listen to my own stuff rather than the radio, listen to some podcasts, Joe Rogan, whatever you like. So that is one thing that I did bring, and I'm really glad I did. But after I dropped my car off and picked this up, I actually left all my clothes back with the bloke that I picked it up of in my car. So I had to turn around after 10-15 minutes and go back and get it. It's so stupid. But right now we're about an hour north of Melbourne, and I've just stopped and had something to eat, and we're just cruising at the moment. It's about 5 o'clock roughly, so it's going to start getting dark soon. I don't know how much more filming I'll do in the dark because, well, it just looks crap. But yeah, I'm just staying at a little humble motel in Albury, and I'll do the rest of the drive tomorrow. But I've actually enjoyed it so far. It's very calm and relaxing, if I'm honest. Like, you would think that driving from Melbourne to Sydney in a, you know, borderline 40-year-old car, actually, you would think that this drive wouldn't be that great in such an old car, but really it's nothing. It's running great. The car hasn't skipped a beat so far. And
speed limit, camera ahead.
And before, when I stopped for food, was the first time I'd turned the car off since I started it. Oh, actually, other than I recorded the quick video. So, no, it's she's doing great. Really enjoying it. Absolute darling of a car. Honestly.
Give me 100 million. He said you pop
Enough.
I look you. Look after each other.
I've just had to pull over because, you know what? I wanted to show you guys what a good thing this is. Just another angle of it. It really looks like a Camry from the front. You know, if you look at it like that, it looks very 90s Toyota. However, you're not fooling anybody. You're not fooling anyone at all. It's definitely a VP if you look at it from the side. What a cool old thing, guys. I know that a lot of people might not agree with me. You know, it's a V6 and all this stuff, but it's from a different era. It really is from a completely different era, and these cars like this are lost. They're gone. You do not see them anymore. There would be very, very few left in the country in this condition. I could pretty much guarantee that. I'm sure there are some out there. And if you have a T1, the VN, or any of them, frankly, I'd be interested in doing a video of them, because there was so much interesting one-off parts about this car. Just, yeah. I really like them.
If you had to boost me.
I fix you proper.
I like you.
Good people, man.
There's some honeys over there. How cool is that? Lexcen belongs over there. All right, we're only about 23 minutes away. Man, I'm getting a bit tired, so hopefully we're gonna be there soon.
Hypotheticals and like ultimate who the fuck knows, because is that a thing that we think
Right.
always has been something? Because if it's just something, if it's just the nature of everything.
All right, guys, we are finally here. We're in Albury, so we're about halfway through, and I did book this motel, and I'm lucky enough that they gave me family room, even though I'm all by myself. So shout out to yeah. So yeah, shout out to Albury City Motel. I really appreciate it. And there we go. Again, I know it's a bit of a different video, but what a view there outside my window. Beautiful VN. But tomorrow we have about, what, 5 hours of driving, something like that. So the main crux is over. I did about 8.5, 9 today, which I know for some of you is nothing, but for me it's a fair bit. So, all right.